It's time now to know what's on the front pages of the Nigerian newspapers, and joining me to look at this is lawyer and social development advocate Jide Ologun, as well as social commentator Abayami Oke-Asiwaju. Good morning, gentlemen. Compliments of the season. All right, let's head straight to the papers now, and I begin with the Tribune. COVID-19 running riot. That's what you find on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune. COVID-19 running riot. All right, we move to the front page of the leadership newspaper, still talking about the pandemic. COVID-19, federal government moves to cut rapid transmission rate. Federal government moves to cut rapid transmission rate. On the front page of the Nation newspaper, still talking COVID-19, lack of oxygen bed space hampers treatment. Can LCCG Winners Chapel back down on crossover service? All right, let's quickly move now to the front page of the Blueprint. Makinde raises the alarm. Bandits from West Africa trying to enter Nigeria. Troops kill 9 on Kaduna-Abuja highway. NAF neutralizes scores in Sambisa Forest. Community policing takes off in Kaduna. To the front page of the Business Day now, NSAS protest, the youth rage that defined 2020. On the front page of the New Telegraph, Bishop's verdict on Buhari insecurity. Catholic Church can back Kuka as Arewa youths kick. To the front page now of the Guardian newspaper now, Kuka denounces coup allegation, lampoons critics. Muslim coalition, others condemn attacks on Bishop. Muslim professionals say clerics sermon timely call for good leadership. And the Bishop simply spoke the truth to Buhari, it declares. All right, let's quickly move to the front page of the Daily Trust now. 56-year-old Kaduna's only textile company sacks 300 staff. We are only downsizing UNTL. No cotton for factory because of banditry. Union. Stop smuggling, patronize local industries. RMU. We'll be looking at that story shortly. To the front page of the Punch newspaper now. Federal government adopting wrong strategies to address bad economy. Obasanjo, Utomi, others. Don't blame God for Nigeria's woes, Obasanjo tells nation's leaders. We are facing hunger, insurgents dislodging farmers, says Milafia. I'll fight food inflation in 2021, oil industry in turmoil, Buhari. All right, to the front page of the Daily Sun now. Again, federal government stops forex for food import, claims 7 states producing enough rice. Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, MAN, Farmers Group, others call for caution. And finally, on the front page of the News Direct, stop funding food importation. NACCIMMA, AFAN backs Buhari's directive to CBN, insists we must eat what we produce. All right, quickly, let's look at the story on the front page of the Daily Trust, talking about a 56-year-old textile company sacking 300 staff. And the reason for this is that the impact of the activities of banditry, which is one of the reasons why the company had to downsize. Let me start with you, Jide Ologun. I wonder how this comes to you. 56-year-old downsizing, 300 persons now out of jobs because of the activities of bandits.
It's a reflection of where we are economically now. So let's go back to history. I recall that in the early 60s, palm oil production, cotton,
yes, these were the key
groundnuts,
yes,
were the key drivers of revenue.
Economy.
In
yes.
fact, Nigeria earned about 75% of her foreign exchange earnings then. And you should have looked forward to expanding this capacity. At a time in Nigeria, vacation jobs were available because the textile industries were functioning. That's where we had the industrial areas, your background, Enugu for coal. But when oil took over, again, we have grossly mismanaged the oil. And I'm not surprised that we are where we are now. And it has to do with how we have managed the economy. And I think it's not the best, because if you compare Nigeria, for instance, with Singapore, that has little natural resources and that ruled out in 1965 as a poor coastal region, and today is one of the richest regions in the world. And what the leader, Lee Kuan Yew, did, they brought in meritocracy, education, studied the template of developed economies and improved on it, and consistently built the economy in a sustainable manner. But here we are today. One of the reasons given in respect of the dwindling fortunes of the textile industry is the fact that cotton is not available because of banditry. And we've been saying it. If you want to prosper in life, you must take security very, very seriously. And in a country where we tend more to focus on insecurity and probably nurture insecurity, then we may be romancing poverty for a very long time. Because I'm amazed that we are even admitting that the bandits are dislodging those who should be growing the cuttings. What about the food production also? Look at what happened in Borno State recently. Farmers beheaded because they didn't take permission from the military. And, you know, different kinds of embarrassing situations. So I think when we go back to the primary purpose of government as reflected in Section 14, subsection 2 of the Nigerian Constitution that's 1999 that's amended, that security and the welfare of the people shall be the primary purpose of government. Then we begin to come out of this deep sea scenario. It's quite embarrassing, really.
Abayami, I'd like to hear your reaction to this development. 300 persons are now out of jobs because of activities of bandits.
Yes, no doubt. Yes, insecurity, non-availability of basic infrastructure, and even pandemic are some of the factors that can lead to a situation like this where we begin to downsize our staff strength and all that. But like I said, I think we've done the right thing from the onset. Take, for example, I'm not sure it's only in the northern part of the country that cotton is being produced. Yes, we should have actually diversified, like we do say. Diversification of the economy has been a mantra that has been used, by political class.
This administration, especially.
Especially, yes, they've made some very, landmark, achievements. However, we should not put all our eggs in one basket. Okay, they are manufacturing cotton or textile in a particular place. Can we think of another location where such can also thrive? Can we think of another area where we can also, begin to, because 300, now the implication of this is that you've downsized 300. They are vulnerable as we speak now. They can be easily manipulated. They can be easily lured by those who have bad intentions when it comes to insecurity in this country. Even those that are not even laid off, those that do not have jobs. We are saying that they are the ones that are easy to recruit.
Easy targets, yes.
By some of these unscrupulous elements that are threatening our security, in the country. So I think that particularly government should look at how we can address it, because 300 is not, because the implication of 300 is that, let's assume one person has 4 mouths to feed. So 300 times 4.
And you have relatives as well.
Relatives, 1,200, and begin to expand. And that is the implication of laying off 300 staff. I think it's something that we can't afford to just, look away. We just have to address this.
Well, this is just one story that we are hearing of. We do not know of other persons. If you look at the World Poverty Clock, the ratings in Nigeria, these persons have found themselves in that class.
Just recently, our own small business, we just laid off 2 staff. Why? Because of this COVID-19 protocol thing. Because they said no events, no this and that. We can't afford to pay you, so I'm sorry, you need to go now. These are some of the issues.
All right, let's quickly move on because of want of time now to the front page of the News Direct, talking about stop funding food importation. NACCIMMA, AFAN backing Buhari's directive to the CBN. The president has said that the CBN shouldn't issue forks for the importation of food items. And there has been divergent views with react to that. Some are saying that the president should tread cautiously with this kind of statements or directive. And some are saying that we are not yet self-sufficient with regards to food. And we are saying that we should fund importation.
If we have built capacity over the years locally, I think that should be what we must gun for. If you look at China, for example, China is quite self-sustaining in terms of production and engaging the people, and America has what we call very great food security. But in a nation like ours, with all the efforts of the government in diversifying, I must commend growing the rice, but we have a population of over 200 million. So how have we been able to reach out to the people in terms of provision and affordability? Because these are concerns of the United Nations. All right. Recently, we went borrowing food from ECOWAS. You see, and it's very important. We just discussed the textile case in the north. Yes. Smuggling is part of the crisis. What are the officials of the customs doing? The one governor is crying now that bandits are flowing into Nigeria through our borders. And you look at nations that are seeking for highly skilled immigrants to boost the HR base of the nation. And we are bringing in bandits at a time we officially brought them in and started to register them. So when you put all this together and you are saying, and again, don't give money to those who will import food. The guys who sell dollars on Allen Avenue, where do they get the dollars? I mean, let's get serious as a nation. What kind of fiscal control or financial control? I mean, by the grace of God, we've been to some countries of the world selling hard currency on the streets. And they make a lot of money.
Of course.
I heard a report that some of them go to CBN, get this dollar at 380, come out to sell at 500. What will they do with the money? So look at electricity. I think this government, please, we have enough ministers, we have the National Assembly, we have enough brains in there. Sit down. Can we have electricity in Nigeria? Even the agricultural production we carry out, do we migrate it to the secondary level? There are about 4 levels in agroeconomy: the primary, the secondary, the tertiary, and post-tertiary. You see, so how can we develop this economy? We've had several promises. I was so impressed when the Minister of State for Petroleum, Ibe Kachuku, in the last term was promising the NNPC will now start producing electricity and things. Beautiful promises that can be realized. And I've complained. In business, you talk about SWOT analysis. Yes. Your strength, your weakness, the threats, and the opportunities and threats. In Nigeria, we are wasting resources on our weakness. How much have we spent on bandits? On insurgents? We call them insurgents. Insurgents are those who are fighting for a cause. What cause are they fighting for? Killing, shedding blood, disrupting the economic system. And right now, the president himself is even, people are complaining that there may be a food shortage. We just opened the land borders that we shut for some months. What did we benefit from it? So I think we need to look inward, except there is an agenda to cripple the economy of Nigeria. All right. If not, please, let's wake up. Some countries have done it. Rwanda is an African nation, you know.
With lesser population.
This Magufuli, my friend, Magufuli of Tanzania, you know, some countries, Ghana, Toyota set up a firm in Ghana. So how can we connect by developing a vibrant environment, not just to create the wealth, but to attract the wealth? Right.
All right. There are insistence amongst persons that we must eat what we produce. You would recall Buy Nigeria, Grow the Naira, all of those campaigns, advocacy. But the measures put in place doesn't seem to be getting us that result for Nigerians to consume what they produce. He spoke about government efforts towards agriculture. We said we are diversifying, yet we are not getting that result.
You see, good intention is not enough to drive the needed change. I must give it to the president. He has good intentions, at least, and he has been able to make some pragmatic steps or take some pragmatic steps that the world has applauded, even though there are some certain people who still believe, who still don't believe in some of those steps. Now, take for example, we have the closure of the border. Fantastic, good idea. At least he has confirmed to us that we now have 7 states that are producing rice. We are going somewhere. You know, initially we were complaining that the volume of rice that is being produced in Nigeria cannot satisfactorily go around to, you know, to satisfy. And of course, some of the factors that are mitigating against some of these policies. You see, I keep saying it that everything rises and falls on leadership. Whatsoever you want as a leader, you have to demonstrate it practically for people to see so that they can follow you. As we speak today, even when the border was actually closed, you agree with me that we still eat imported rice.
Right.
Go to the houses or go to events sponsored by government officials, you will not see the stone rice that we are producing here. You will see foreign. How did the rice, the imported rice, get into Nigeria? And as we speak today now, customs have even killed more young Nigerians, especially in Ogun State, the border towns. Today, youths are protesting against such killing. And you will wonder, within the 20-kilometer, whatever, is it working? Now, I've come to realize that this problem is people problem. I term it people problem because you as a leader, you want something done. But there are some people somewhere that will definitely sabotage your effort. And how do you address them? Especially when they are your cronies. You know, the kind of cane you will use to beat your enemy, you can't use it on your cronies.
Really?
Exactly. So sometimes you look away and you allow some things to go. And that's why people were shocked when they found out that even while you said the border has been closed,
you opened it for some purpose.
For some big companies, you opened it for them. And we are not even aware all this while. And some people are actually struggling to bring in goods. Some people, in fact, some people's businesses were actually paralyzed as a result of that. Whereas some big boys in town, their own businesses are thriving just because they are friends to those in government. Now, you cannot be showing me such gesture, and you expect me to always trust you whenever you come up with policies like this. And that's why, talking about Forex, talking about our Aboki friends that are exchanging dollars to Naira, they will continue to thrive. Do you know why? They have friends in CBN who are condoning their act. They have friends in government who will pat them at the back and say, if there's any trouble, call on me. So by the time we begin to see some of this selective, treatment, then how do you tell me that I have good intentions for this country, I also want to follow the law? How do you tell me that I should continue to do so when others are, scaling through and having their way just because they have friends in government? These are some of the things. So I repeat again, everything rises and falls on leadership. Whatsoever you want to drive, whatsoever change you want to drive, can we see you practicalize it and let it be shown, let it be seen that you are not on anybody's side. You are for nobody and you are for everybody.
That was what he said.
That doesn't seem to be what is playing out now.
That is a huge statement that we may need years to interpret.
Honestly speaking.
But we are just asking that, please, the government should be for national interest.
Absolutely.
The intention of God for Nigeria is for Nigeria to prosper. And that is why he has deposited the largest deposit of proven gas in Africa, in Nigeria. That is why we have the oil. That is why we have the natural resources. That is why we are over-resourced. So we need resourceful engagement. And I think when we focus on that, the prosperity will manifest. God says in Genesis chapter 1, verse 28, that we should replenish the earth.
Yes.
And so we need to replenish Nigeria. And whatever is sustaining this poverty, please, let's work with it. I've said it, the insecurity of one is the insecurity of all. So let Nigeria arise and shine. And I quite agree with you, it's all about leadership. Yes. Section 15, subsection 5 of Nigerian Constitution Act 99 that's amended says that the government shall abolish corruption and at the state and abuse of office. So if this corruption and abuse of office is stampeding our progress, the government has the mandate to go against it.
Absolutely.
But where the will is not there, what happens? So God will bless Nigeria and bring us out of the doldrum.
Amen.
Absolutely.
Even though video said we don't need much prayer again.
We do.
we need a prayer.
And we match it with action.
Yes. Absolutely. Gentlemen, we must thank you for your time on the program. Thank you so much for your contribution.